What's good, everybody? It is your boy Kevin Luador, and today I have a very special guest for Who's Next Wednesday, Michael Sierra. He is an entrepreneur, he is a business owner, he is a digital marketer, and he is just an all-around amazing dude. But before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I promise you want to stick around for this whole entire episode because it's going to be special.
I'm a serial entrepreneur, just like Kevin said. I've grown multiple seven-figure companies, ranging in industries such as apparel, health foods, financial services. So I have a pretty good grasp of entrepreneurship, digital marketing, and financial freedom.
Mike, your story to me, I've heard your story probably at least 100 times. But it's very unique to me, and I always like hearing it because every time you say your story, I learn something new. Back in 2017, I believe it was, me and Mike actually had the same digital marketing class at UCF. During that class, we was all required to do a group project based about digital marketing for our businesses. Mike did the project on his own business. And while he was presenting, he was like, yeah, I have a women's clothing store, and we made $225K so far. I'm like, what? So I was so mind startled that, damn, my group was bullshitting on this project. This dude literally had his own company that's already made well over six figures a month at that time, while still in college in the same class as me. So I was like, damn, that is crazy. So fast forward a year later, Mike comes to speak in another one of my classes. And at that moment, I know, like, damn, I have to get in contact with this dude immediately, because this is the same dude that had the women's clothing store that was making six figures a month in my last class. And fast forward, Mike gave me an opportunity, and we've been business partners ever since then. So, Mike, what do you do now?
So my day-to-day really focuses on digital strategy for companies.
Yeah.
Helping them position themselves in a way where they can create more income than they're just spending.
Yeah.
So companies hire me and like yourself to go and design a strategy for them that will guarantee success for their business.
So people pay you to make them more money, basically.
People pay me to make them more money.
Yeah. Okay. Love it. Love it. So, how did you get to where you are today? What is your story?
So, it all started because I was a disappointment to my friends and my family. Mm-hmm. All right. I had a lot of pressure on them. I was 4 years into college, but only had completed 2 years worth of classes. In all of that, I started looking up ways to make money passively. Mm-hmm. Right. I didn't want to go and get a job because I've never been a good worker. I don't take well with someone telling me like directions.
100%.
So I knew I needed to work for myself if I was going to be at least happy with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Right. So in that, I started reaching passive incomes, and I found this thing called dropshipping. It's when you take a product, let's say on Amazon, right, and then you post that product on eBay. Mm-hmm. And then you wait for someone to buy it. Yeah. Right? And then you immediately ship it from Amazon to that person's house, and you just kept the margin in between. Yeah. Whatever the profit was. Yeah. Right? So that's how I started. My first sale for dropshipping was like this vacuum cleaner. Wow. Right? But I only made $5 in profit, and it took like 2 weeks to do. So that's obviously not going to be
not worth it.
A good income for me. So I was like, all right, there has to be a better way to do this. Yeah. I started researching more on YouTube, and I found these guys building Shopify stores and doing the same thing, but from a different website, like in China. They were showing these ridiculous amounts of like income, like hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, multiple stores, and I was inspired. I went down a little rabbit hole, right? I watched every single video I could about dropshipping, building a Shopify store, opened up a bunch of different trials.
Basically, when you found this method, you decided, I'm going all in on this.
I didn't really think about it. It wasn't like a decision I made. It's if you have that drive and you're just like, you get really excited about something, it's like an epiphany went off in my head, and I was like, I need to just figure this out. This looks within reach. Yeah. I guess that's like the proper thing. If you see an opportunity and it's within reach, you grab it.
So you opened all these free trials, and what happened after that?
I would build a store every weekend.
You built a different store every weekend?
Yeah.
So what's the lot? Why did you do that, and how did that turn out?
So, well, they all failed.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
Okay.
But that's what I did. All right, so the reason why I built a store every weekend is because I didn't want to pay $30 a month. I didn't want to get trapped into a $30 a month thing. So I only had 2 weeks to build basically a trial and then test it.
Wait. So because you wanted to avoid the $30 fee,
Yeah.
you just, if a store didn't work within 2 weeks, you completely abandoned it.
Yeah, within 10 days.
Within 10 days, you abandoned it and built a new store.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Completely.
Bro. Okay.
I wanted to build the store for free,
That
market
worked.
it. Yeah, that worked, and then try to get some cash.
Yeah, without paying the $30.
Without paying $30.
Okay.
I knew that digital marketing and e-commerce was my key to financial freedom.
Okay. When did things start to click for you?
So after each store I made and failed on, I
Yeah.
learned something new each time.
Yeah.
Right? So my first store was an animal jewelry store. So I was like, okay, animal and jewelry. Who buys jewelry? Women. Everyone likes animals.
Yeah.
So my first Facebook ad was like, people who like jewelries and elephants. I have this like philosophy, right? Fail fast.
Fail fast. I
Fail
love that.
fast.
Love it.
If you're gonna fail, do it quickly.
So I want to know, when did you pivot? What was your pivoting moment?
So I put some money in, got some traffic to my store. I started learning about the different analytic tools, like in the different metrics of how to understand what's actually happening on my store. My friend's mom was like, why don't you guys sell leggings?
So how did this leggings store, how did that work?
So I'll never forget the day. It was my buddy's birthday, and we just went skydiving, right, in Tallahassee.
Yeah.
And I get this notification on my phone that like little cha-ching, and I was like, I've never heard that sound before. I loved it, by the way. I loved the sound. The sound was phenomenal. Best sound ever.
Best sound ever. Little cha-ching.
Little cha-ching. I checked my phone, and Shopify had given me a notification that I got my first sale.
Wow.
So our first sale was probably like $50.
Okay.
Right. That first week we made $8,000.
Wow. $8,000 first week open.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's just because we were like, all right, we were running some Facebook ads. The ad worked, and we're like, okay, at $20, what does $100 do? Put $100 down, and we were spending $100 a day
Wow.
for 8 days.
And you made
$1,000 a day, like 10x.
10x your money. Wow. So how big did this store grow?
So that first month we made 20K.
Okay.
Then a few months after that it was like 60, 100, 100, 100, 300.
300K in a month.
300K, 300.
Wow.
It was like 350K in a month.
Wow.
And you know,
Those-
within 1 year, we had $1.5 million in sales. Yeah, and then I graduated college.
So you did all this in college. Wow.
My senior year of college, while taking, I don't know, 7 classes.
What is some of the horrors that came with that? Because nothing's that's always as good as it seems.
Every day, for every sale, came more work,
Okay.
right? So we had
More money, more problems.
more money, more problems. It's like the realest term ever.
Yeah.
When you start having hundreds
Sales coming in.
of them,
Yeah.
it becomes too much because let's say it's you and like another person, right? You guys both are going to be what? Copy and pasting information on a website and then shipping it directly to the person. So we did that for about like 2 months.
Wow.
We had to do that.
It was hectic.
It was outrageous. It was outrageous.
Yeah.
We have to figure out how to automate
How to pivot.
this process.
Yeah.
Right? So we had to get in contact with the suppliers. People like overseas, they don't want to deal with you unless you're doing, $40,000 or $50,000 a month in business with them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're too small. So that was like the first big hurdle because
Yeah.
we're like, wow, we got to continue doing this and get more sales just so we can automate this.
So what happened to the store?
So anything that rides too fast will also fall fast. What we did was we started investing into infrastructure on the website, a whole dev team, IT infrastructure, different automation, like pouring everything we had back into the business, and we didn't save any cash. Like we didn't have any cash on hand
Okay.
for like a rainy day. And having absolutely zero experience in e-commerce, business, anything, we didn't understand, we didn't know that you can raise money, get investors, like that we didn't know about it.
Yeah.
And that's what, I think that's why the business ultimately failed.
So the business failed.
When the business failed, it basically means, all right, I don't have enough cash on hand to continue pouring into advertising and marketing to continue generating more sales. But our operating costs, the cost of the store, the cost of all the software to run the store, all those things were more than any of our team, like personally, could like continue investing to afford. Yeah, I basically paid for a massive education on a very short-term loan.
But now you're helping build multiple seven-figure stores.
I would say, now we have multiple seven-figure stores. I have 2 seven-figure companies that we run and operate every single day. And this is all within a year of hitting my lowest low. A year ago of losing everything. A year ago today, now we're traveling around the country, bringing the team out to like California, New York, racing supercars, renting out mansions, like living very well on our own schedules.
Life is good.
10 employees at the business right now. So I would say, like, even though I risked it all, it paid off, and I'm in a better place than I am today than if I didn't do any of that stuff ever.
100%. And this is going to be the best part. So, for one, what do you do now?
So it's like an extension of digital marketing. And what we do is we sell data, like leads, like phone calls, leads to financial services companies, like big insurance carriers, and we get them sales.
What is your goal now? Where do you want to go in life? Where do you see yourself heading? What's the next step for you?
I want to grow with a group of people who have very similar values and skill sets that I do. I feel like an obligation to give back as much as I can. Teach as many people about the things that I learned, so that way they can come up with me. Because I think, we have one life. I got to live it to the best.
What is a quote that you would want to leave the audience with?
So this is the quote that I first saw, which inspired me to look at passive income. And it's by Warren Buffett. If you don't learn how to make money while you sleep, you'll be working for the rest of your life.
Love it. And last but not least, is there a book or a movie or anything you would recommend to everybody here watching, just from your personal experience?
I guess The Secret is a good audiobook and book if you want to read it. It's about visualizing your goals, and eventually it'll come true.
I always say this, I visualize all the time. But without further ado, Mike, thank you so much, bro. This has been a phenomenal episode. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Make sure you guys comment what you like most about the episode, and please leave a subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell notification. See you guys for the next Who's Next Wednesday.